Have you ever wondered why the news plays the same 5 stories again and again? Let me give you a little hint. Brainwashing and repetition is the most basic form of brainwashing. Join me as we look at the news cycle and talk about why the mainstream media is so gutless and afraid to report the truth. What's up? Happy Friday. Welcome to Troubled Minds News. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and it's a special edition. It's Black Friday, as it's called, as it's known. I'm sure at some point that will be probably a name we can't use anymore because, well, it just it doesn't sound good. It sounds like people are dying on Friday, and that's not good. That's not a good thing, right? Kind of like the Black Death. Not a good thing. What's going on, guys? How's everybody? It's what's up, Eli? I see you there. Robert, how's everybody? Well, this is a show where the conspiracy is the news, meaning, of course, all kinds of things. But specifically, we're talking about the propaganda news cycle and how a lot of the stuff they kind of push through this is just a bunch of hogwash. Not just that, right? But that there's also real news happening in the world that really should be highlighted. You know, good things, bad things, all kinds of things happening out there that just don't really get the credit they deserve, the coverage and the rest of that. You know, if you can't politicize it, make it lefty righty type, drama, culture war, type of stuff, then they don't do it. They don't cover it. It's unfortunate, and that's just the way it is, right? I mean, they do it barely, so they can say they did, but then they just continue on with whatever drama they've got planned for the repetition brainwash cycle. So anyway, that's this show, of course, is started from a show we do called Troubled Minds Radio, and on that show we talk about weird stuff, aliens, conspiracy, the paranormal, and we used to do a news segment on there, and it's just too much now. It's the news got to be too much to talk about, was taking over the show, so time to split it off, make its own show. And so we have just the Troubled Minds News Show, and here we are. And happy Friday to you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. And, well, let's, I think that's it. Oh, what else do we got? Yeah, how about this? We'll do this as well. Don't forget that Troubled Minds News is live, and we always do this live, and to include you, just like the other show as well, 702-957-1037, troubledminds.org. You can click the Discord link and hop on in here and come say hi. There we go. It's part of the transparency process. I always share my links, and I always share my sources, and I always share the information with you because, again, this whole thing is it's about talking to people. It's about exchanging ideas. It's about getting together and trying to be, not douchebags to each other. And so there we go. It's as simple as that. It's really a simple concept, but it's becoming revolutionary anymore because you're not allowed. He who even comes close to speaking the truth anymore becomes the enemy. And so whatevs. That's what we're doing. And one more time, if you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037, and we'll put you on the show. Simple as that. And let's do it. Let's get to the news, shall we? Here we go. Let's start here. This is suspicious. This is Malcolm X's daughter, Malika Shabazz, was found dead in her New York home days after she exposed New York PD and the FBI were behind the assassination of her father. And let's see. The family asked his murder investigation to reopen after the men found guilty of his assassination are expected exonerated. And this is Highly suspicious. I don't know, of course, what actually happened with this. I just saw this tweet and thought I'd talk about this. And I don't know exactly how accurate this is, but I couldn't find anything right off, so I think this is brand new. It looks like this just hit. But I don't know. So the point being is that, suspicious things are afoot happening out there in the world. That the assassination of Malcolm X was always super shady, and they're talking about exonerating the people that did it now. So, of course, the CIA involved, maybe? I don't know. I have no idea. It's a little bit, let's call it unfortunate, beyond unfortunate here, that this is hopefully not a generational type, right? I don't know. Like, how do you explain this? Other than, anybody passing always is always bad. It's always negative. It's always, it's always all that, right? So there's that, obviously that. But then the next thing is, well, if we have this situation going on with, maybe, some dirty foul play stuff going on here, then this becomes a little more terrifying, right? Just a little more terrifying. And that's what this is all about, talking about this stuff, considering the possibilities. I don't know. I'm not claiming the CIA offed this woman, but I am saying that it does seem suspicious that the timing of this has been in the news recently with these individuals showing up in the news cycles as being exonerated and the rest of this. Hold on, let me check this real quick. Because this is not good. This is one of those things that here it is. Oh, actually, okay. So this is from 3 days ago. All right. So I didn't realize. I thought this was actually just happened, but apparently this was not too long ago. Anyway, so I'm gonna bring this up and we'll look at it. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think there's any kind of foul play involved here? I've got this archive here. I'll pull this up. Here we go. This is from the New York Slimes. Let's go here. So Malika Shabazz, daughter of Malcolm X, is found dead in Brooklyn. Miss Shabazz was found in her living room by her daughter on Monday. The police do not suspect foul play, they say, right? Of course. But let's see. One of the youngest daughters of Malcolm X and his wife, Betty Shabazz, was found dead at home in Brooklyn on Monday. The death of Miss Shabazz did not appear to be suspicious, said a spokeswoman from a city medical examiner who will determine the cause of death. So they haven't determined the cause of death yet, but they say it's not suspicious. Okay, there you go. Miss Shabazz was found dead 4 days after a judge exonerated two men who were convicted in 1966 of assassinating Malcolm X the year before. She was found unresponsive on her living room floor by her 23-year-old daughter, who lives with her in the apartment and in the midsection of Brooklyn, police said. Mayor Bill de Blasio said at a news conference on Tuesday that there was no indication that Ms. Shabazz's death was a crime or the result of foul play. All right, so there we go. So is it not? I don't know. But, however, it hardly matters because, they wouldn't say. Right. They're still saying Jeffrey Epstein killed himself, if you get my meaning, right? So anyway, that's from the New York Slimes and a tweet that kind of that tipped me off to this. And well, anyway, so let's keep on trucking, shall we? 702-957-1037, and let's see. Let's put this up real quick. Let's put that other link up real quick. Make sure you guys have this stuff if you want it. All right, and there we go. As you guys know, when this stuff goes up to the podcast feed, all these links will be in the description down below. So I'll link them in the chat here, and et cetera, so on. So anyway, here we go. This one's a little creepy. This is from New Scientist, and unfortunately it's paywalled, but we can watch a little bit of this video because this is wild. But anyway, black lava from this bizarre volcano could reveal Earth's deep secrets. Oh, what the hell, right? Tanzania's Oldoinyo Lengai is the only Oldoinyo Lengai, I can't do it, is the only volcano known to spew out carbonatite. lava, which could offer fresh clues about Earth's mysterious mantle. But getting hold of a sample is no simple matter. So black lava, we talk about black goo on Troubled Minds, right? Here you go. Here's some actual black lava coming out of this particular volcano. So black lava isn't what any reasonable person would expect to find inside their cocktail shaker. But when you were holding it dangling over the edge of a crater in Tanzania, trying to study the world's strangest volcano, it's exactly what you want to see. Stealing lava isn't usually so tricky. Okay, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's just watch some of this video because this is probably a better indication of what's really going on here. Let's take a look. Here we go. That's actual black lava.
This is Uldonyo Lengai, the only volcano on Earth that erupts a strange black lava.
It's astounding because you get in this conundrum of being completely overawed, at the same time knowing how risky it is to be there because we know so little about the behavior of Uldonyo Lengai.
Kate Laxton from University College London went to Tanzania to study this bizarre volcano.
Uldonyo Lengai hasn't been assessed, hasn't really had a physical since its last explosive eruption in 2007 to 2008. Since then, we haven't really got much of an idea of what's happening inside the crater because it's been, inaccessible, 100 meters below the crater rim. And I wanted to know what was going on. Rather than looking at the differences between Uldonyo Lengai and other volcanoes, what are the similarities? What technologies that we use at other volcanoes to monitor them can we use here?
When the lava cools and mingles with the atmosphere, it turns a silvery white. Most lava contains a fair amount of silica, but Uldonyo Lengai's black lava contains, among other things, a lot of sodium and calcium carbonate.
So Uldonyo Lengai is unique in the sense that it produces these effusive eruptions of natural carbonatite, but then it likes to explode every now and then with a silicate lava. So that dynamic, that switch between effusive natural carbonatite volcanism and explosive silicate volcanism isn't very well understood at all. And those
Okay, there we go. Just a quick example of what's going on here. Link is in the description if you want to check out the rest of this video. It's only 5 minutes long. But it is a little peculiar, don't you think, that there's actual black lava coming out of this thing. And it's not well understood. So, as usual, right, all the things that we don't know about this planet, there are many. And, yeah, pretty wild. And talking about black goo and all the rest of this, like we tend to do sometimes on Troubled Minds Radio, well, now, welcome to the Thunderdome, as it were. What's up, happy Friday? Hope everybody's doing well out there. And it is Black Friday, and we'll call it Black Lava Friday now, or if we've dubbed it Black Lava Friday. There you go. All right. So if you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037. We'll put you on. You can talk to me and whoever else might be listening. And you never know who's listening, by the way. It could be, who knows? Who knows? You use your imagination. All right. So let's see. What do we got? Where are we at time-wise? I think we're okay. Let's do this. Yeah, we're good. All right. So let's take a quick break and get a word from our sponsor, which is you.
Are you digging the show? If so, you can support us quite easily and at no additional cost to you if you already have an Amazon Prime account. Since we stream on Twitch every day, all you have to do is link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and they give you free games on a monthly basis for your personal use, and also a bonus $5 a month to send to your favorite streamer as a way to bring more people to Twitch. And all you have to do is sync up the two accounts and click subscribe. Thanks for considering us.
All right, there you go. Now let's look at this. This is one of those ones, right, where you're like, we've talked about this before about other planets. Like, we just talked about how we barely even understand the stuff happening here on Earth. Well, wouldn't you know it that this is from TheVerge.com, and strange signals on Venus may be coming from an erupting volcano. Future missions will settle the matter once and for all. But yeah, so a new study adds to the growing pile of evidence that Venus may be volcanically active, a finding that, if true, would help explain how volcanoes impact planetary evolution and habitability across the cosmos. The research, which focuses on strange signals coming from a Venusian volcano called Idun Mons, is fueling excitement about future missions to Earth's nearest neighbor that will settle the matter once and for all. It's long been known that Venus is covered in some seriously surreal volcanoes, but it is impossible to tell from Earth whether they are still oozing lava today, because Venus's thick and hazy atmosphere obscures whatever may be happening on the ground. Which, use your imagination. What else is there? What else might be down there? It's let's see. Now, using archival observations from old orbiter missions and the results of experimental work conducted on Earth, a team of scientists is making the case that the 1.5 mile high, 125 mile wide Idun Mons has been active within the past few thousand years and is likely still erupting today. They won't have to wait long to confirm their hunch. Within the next decade, a small squadron of missions capable of detecting volcanic activity on the surface will begin their journeys to Venus. And this, well, like I said, if we have the atmosphere of Venus obfuscating the view of what may be going down on the surface, what else do you think is going down on the surface? Including, well, think maybe there's life down there. What if there's little Venus critters running around, little alien with googly eyes, right? And aliens and googly eyes, and, you know, maybe living underground and popping up to sniff the toxic air or whatever. Who knows? Who knows what's going on with this? But this is pretty cool stuff that, you know, we're talking about exploring the moons of Saturn and things like this. But, well, I mean, there's Venus right there, and there's Mars right there, right? Let's get some boots on the ground over there and find out what's actually happening, if possible, of course. But yeah, I mean, at least some drones to drop down there and maybe explore some things, rovers, whatever, right? But that's interesting to me that, well, volcanic, possibly, probably even, and just like we always say, we're probably not the only life out there, right? Because it would be depressing if we were. Super depressing if we were. All right, let's keep on trucking. There's more. There's always more. Let's go to, you guys know me, how I love my space news. What's up, James? What's up, Daryl? How are you guys? Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for showing up. Happy Friday. We got this. We got Sci-Tech Daily. Speaking of, we're not the only life out there. Well, astronomers discover more than 300 possible new exoplanets using advanced planet detection algorithm. All right. So, of course, right, in the old days, we'd have to actually visually see the transiting planets crossing in front of the sun, you know, and the rest of that. So let's read some of this. UCLA scientists have identified 366 new exoplanets, thanks in large part to an algorithm developed by a UCLA postdoctoral scholar. Among their most noteworthy findings is a planetary system that comprises a star and at least 2 gas giant planets, each roughly the size of Saturn and located unusually close to one another. The discoveries are described in a paper published on November 23rd in the Astronomical Journal. The term exoplanets, of course, is used to describe planets outside of our own solar system, blah, blah, blah. Quote, discovering hundreds of new exoplanets is a significant accomplishment by itself, but what sets this work apart is how it will illuminate features of exoplanet population as a whole, said Eric Pettigura. I did it. A UCLA astronomy professor and co-author of the research. Yeah, more and more, right? They keep finding more and more. So in the old days, we used to actually have to see it, right? Some astronomer would have to focus on the area and watch for the transiting, but now they just plug it into some algorithms, and the algorithms will do the AI thing and figure the things out and say, well, here's a bunch of planets you guys missed, right? Because you people are lazy. Keep watching, right? But anyway, so the paper's lead author is John Zink, who earned his doctorate from UCLA in June and is currently a UCLA postdoctoral scholar. He and Pettigura, as well as an international team of astronomers called the Scaling K2 project, identified the exoplanets using the NASA Kepler Space Telescope's K2 mission. So, pretty good stuff. The discovery was made possible by a new planet detection algorithm that Zink developed. One challenge in identifying new planets is the reductions in smaller brightness that may originate from the instrument or from an alternative astrophysical source that mimics a planetary signature. Teasing out which ones are which requires extra investigation, which traditionally has been extremely time-consuming and can only be accomplished through visual inspection. Xinc's algorithm is able to separate which signals indicate planets and which are merely noise. There you go. We got what do we got? We got black lava on Earth, right, that we don't understand. We've got volcanic activity on Venus, which they didn't think was a thing, and now it's probably a thing. And now we have, well, exoplanets being discovered like crazy. As this algorithm gets rolling, you can only bet and expect that there's going to be tons and tons more. So, well, do you still think we're the only the only intelligent species out there in the game? Anybody? Test 1, 2. Anybody? I don't think so. I'm going to say no. No, I don't think so. Nope. All right, let's keep on trucking here. Let's get to this. This is the weirdness, right? More weirdness, more news cycles, more, well, covering up of dirty things. U.S. stonewalls probe into security firm that allegedly spied on Assange for CIA, says Spanish judge. And there is, well, this is from Yahoo News. Speaking of, intelligent life. The Justice Department has failed to respond to multiple requests from Spanish authorities to help in an investigation into a local security firm suspected of being used by the CIA to conduct aggressive and potentially illegal surveillance of WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. If you guys remember, just recently they just came up with this, that they tried to assassinate him. There were plans that came across Trump's desk when he was president that they were going to accidentally kill Assange in a firefight of some sort, right? So this is the weirdness of this, and the upside down world we live in, once again, is that what does this even mean? Like, why are they doing these things? Like, is he really that big of a threat by exposing, like, corruption? You know, you remember the biggest bombshell WikiLeaks stuff was, you know, friendly fire stuff, where they were, you know, actually targeting allies and shooting them and saying, oops, I guess that wasn't our target, right? Stuff like that, you know, like just horrific war atrocities and things like this. And, well, I mean, isn't that stuff that should be exposed if we're going to get better at not killing people, right? I mean, accidentally. I mean, anyway, quote, "I am not so pleased about it," said Santiago Pedraz, the investigating judge in charge of the case, in an exclusive interview with Yahoo News. When asked about the failure of officials in Washington so far to cooperate with this probe, quote, "They have absolutely not answered anything." Yeah. You surprised? I'm not surprised. This is exactly the type of stuff, right? And this is why, again, back to the UFO community stuff, this is exactly why it surprises me quite a bit about the Lou Elizondo stuff, and, you know, the leakers that came out of the government that are kind of giving away classified information, right? I mean, maybe they're kind of towing the line, but I don't know. Like, this is how they treat actual whistleblowers, right? If they can't politicize it for the lefty-righty news cycles, remember that whistleblower that you couldn't say his name? Remember that? How they're like, because they just highly politicized it, Eric Churumamala or something like that. But this, right? This is what happens to a real whistleblower, right? Somebody who actually has government data and sends them out, right? Gets the information and releases it to the public. This is how they treat whistleblowers, right? They come up with plans to assassinate you. They stonewall, probes into who's been spying on you, things like this, right? This is exactly how they treat whistleblowers. And so some of this UFO stuff that comes out that we talk about quite often, which we talked about last night as well, on Troubled Minds Radio, is that this is, it seems to me that there's two things don't seem to match. And one is, see how they treat Julian Assange, see how they treat Lou Elizondo, right? It's two very, very, very different things. And yeah, anyway. So what do you guys think about this? Love to hear your thoughts, as usual. If you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037, and we'll put you on the show. Easy as that. But let's keep on trucking. Well, let's do it. There's more. There's always more. Let's go to this. Here's more. Speaking of crazy stuff, we follow this stuff for sure, right? CERN, right? The Large Hadron Collider. Well, check this out. This is from, again, phys.org. The International Forward Search Experiment Team, led by physicists at the University of California, Irvine, have achieved the first ever detection of neutrino candidates produced by the Large Hadron Collider at the CERN facility near Geneva, Switzerland. In a paper published today in the journal Physical Review D, the researchers describe how they observed 6 neutrino interactions during a pilot run of a compact emulsion detector installed at the LHC in 2018. Quote, prior to this project, no sign of neutrinos has ever been seen at a particle collider, said co-author Jonathan Feng, UCI Distinguished Professor of Physics and Astronomy and co-leader of the Phaser Collaboration. That would be FASER. He continues, this significant breakthrough is a step toward developing a deeper understanding of these elusive particles and the role they play in the universe. The fabled neutrino. Yes. He said the discovery made during the pilot gave his team 2 crucial pieces of information. Quote, first, it verified that the position forward of the Atlas interaction point at the LHC is the right location for detecting collider neutrinos, which is good, I guess. Second, our efforts demonstrated the effectiveness of using an emulsion detector to observe these kinds of neutrino interactions. All right. Well, we talk about the world being a simulation, the universe being a simulation of sorts. What about pixels? What about neutrinos? What about micro, macro, and how everything could be super big and super small? And it seems to mirror each other in bizarre ways. The fractals and all that stuff. I don't know. Maybe this is what happens if they open up that runaway vacuum decay. That what's his name? That who described this? Who talked about that? Was it Stephen Hawking? I think one of those guys. The runaway vacuum decay, which could open up a black hole and basically destroy the Earth in a matter of, well, a second or less. So I don't know. The Department of Energy and all that stuff, right? Saying they're probing into other dimensions. Well, here we go with CERN saying neutrinos, they've detected them. Well, what happens? What happens when you get smaller and smaller and smaller? I don't know. Just kind of speculating here with you guys and wondering what the hell's going on in this weirdo upside-down world. Right? Let's see. James says, I'd be more surprised if we were the only intelligent species out there than if we weren't. That's depressing as hell if we're the only intelligence in the game, right? That's just, yeah. All right, let's get to a fun one, fun, crazy one, fun, crazy, fun. Let's go to the Daily Beast. Speaking of fun and crazy, the Daily Beast. Lol, the Daily Beast. Anyway, Kim Jong-un bans citizens ripping off his stylish leather coats. All right, there you go. Got a nice photograph of the fearless leader, the Kim Jong-un. What do they call him? What's the term? Dear leader? I think it's dear leader. Anyway, North Korean officials have started confiscating cheap knockoffs of the leader's trademark outerwear after they got just too fashionable in Pyongyang. Sweet. Yep, there we go. Okay. Well, most of North Korea's 25 million citizens cannot afford more than the simplest garb. Leather jackets reminiscent of the country's all-powerful dictator have become the go-to fashion in the capital of Pyongyang and other cities where members of the upper crust of military officers, government officials, and members of the ruling Workers' Party live and work. Authorities in North Korea are cracking down on residents wearing leather trench coats, Radio Free Asia, a U.S. government-funded news operation with extensive sources in North Korea, is reporting. They're saying, quote, it is disrespectful to emulate the fashion choices of the country's leader. Oh, dear leader. The crackdown comes as Kim approaches the 10th anniversary since he assumed power after the death of his long-ruling father, Kim Jong-il, on December 17, 2011. Since then, he's been photographed in fashionable suits, sports shirts, and headgear, often worn only once and never seen again. Nothing, however, has caught the imagination of North Koreans so much as the iconic long leather coats that make him at once a macho figure, sporting and prosperous, as well as a fashion leader. There you go. Fashion. Boy, there you go. This guy, she sure can wear a coat, can't he? Man, I'm starting to get jealous here. I'm wishing one day I'll be able to wear a coat, make it look as sexy as that. I'll tell you what. But this is the way the world works in crazy places, right? And well, I'm gonna not go into my diatribe about these types of countries, but let's just say that it's unfortunate that people in Pyongyang can't be sporting these sexy coats because, well, the world definitely needs more sexy, doesn't it? All right, so anyway, what are we at? Let's see, time-wise, I think we're good. So let's take a quick break. You are listening to Troubled Minds News. I'm your host, Michael Strange. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. All right, welcome back to Troubled Minds News. I am Michael Strange, and let's keep on rolling. Let's go to CNN, the most trusted source in news. And speaking of the crazy world we live in, let's go here. Yeah. Let's see. New evidence where they think they may have what happened to Jimmy Hoffa's body. FBI may have new intel. Let's watch just a little bit of this video from CNN and see what's going on with this.
This is another propaganda scene of Mr. Robert Kennedy.
Jimmy Hoffa, the infamous union boss.
We're successful in getting from the employers what our members want and need without strings.
Are we today closer to knowing what happened to him?
This is one of the great mysteries of the modern criminal world. This is one of the great mysteries in mafia history. What happened to Jimmy Hoffa? Where is Jimmy Hoffa buried?
The latest tantalizing possibility points to a former landfill under a New Jersey bridge, the Pulaski Skyway just outside of Manhattan. His disappearance.
Hi, Frank. This is Jimmy Hoffa.
Becoming the stuff of legend depicted in recent films like The Irishman. The murder portrayed as a setup by mobsters who wanted the tough-as-nails union boss out of the way.
Let's get out of here, Frank. Come on.
And older films like 1992's Hoffa that assumes his murder was in the parking lot at the suburban Detroit restaurant where Hoffa was last seen alive on July 30th, 1975.
Mr. Hoffa? Yeah, that's right.
Both scenarios contested, and just where is his body? For decades, a near national obsession.
The body, officials believe, was disposed of in an industrial waste incinerator.
Could this be Jimmy Hoffa's grave? The FBI once again digging for answers.
That wasn't, neither were several locations around Detroit. A backyard, a horse farm, a suburban home. Underneath the old New York Giants Stadium was discounted by investigators. The search found another dead end in the Florida Everglades. Where is Jimmy Hoffa? Now part of American lore.
The FBI reportedly searched the...
Okay, I draw the line at Seth Meyers. Nope, not doing it. All right, so anyway, Jimmy Hoffa, a new lead, maybe underwater in a landfill, under a bridge. Yeah, well, he may as well be on Venus because they're never going to find this guy, right? Pretty wacky stuff. What's up, Rivers? I see there. They were all asked to use his haircut as an example. Now they can't dress like him. They have to make up their mind. Yeah, talking about Kim Jong-un and the sexy coat. Yeah. So again, back to the crazy world we live in with Kim Jong-un, the sexy coat, and then back to Jimmy Hoffa. And what in the world is this? So I don't know. Do you guys think they'll ever find this guy? It's been again since 1975. They said when he was murdered, or when he disappeared, when he vanished. And this is what happens, right? This is what happens when you stand up to whatever it is, to pressure, to money. When you stand up to I don't have to say it. You guys know exactly what I'm thinking. So some things you don't have to say. But here we go. Do you think they'll ever find this guy, the body of Jimmy Hoffa? Yeah. Well, I guess we'll find out. In due time, won't we? All right, let's keep on trucking. More here. If you guys want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037, troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link, and we'll put you on the show. Easy as that. The cough button. Okay, here we go. Let's keep on rolling here. There's more. Always more. Let's go to this. Let's go to Newsweek. This is pretty cool. Everybody remember how Nikola Tesla and people say free energy and all the rest of this? Well, maybe, just maybe, let's see what happens. If we don't have the vacuum decay from Cern and the black hole opening up, maybe we can burn ourselves up with an artificial sun. How about this? Artificial sun, which could create almost limitless clean energy, breaks plasma record. Sweet. The aim of researchers to bring nuclear fusion, the process that powers the stars, down to Earth has been bolstered after the Korea Institute of Fusion Energy's Korea Superconducting Tokamak Advanced Research Reactor maintained superhot plasma within a magnetic field for 30 seconds. That would be the KSTAR. The achievement is a step forward in scientists' desire to harness the fusion that occurs at the heart of the sun and reproduce it on Earth in a controlled manner. Should they succeed, fusion power will provide the world with a safe, sustainable, environmentally responsible, and abundant source of energy. Fusion is almost the reverse of nuclear fission, which powers the world's nuclear reactors. Whereas fission consists of breaking apart of heavy atoms such as uranium, fusion involves the smashing together of light atoms to make heavier atoms and energy. Fusion is a cleaner process as it creates no radioactive waste and proceeds with light and abundant materials such as hydrogen, which can be obtained from seawater rather than expensive and rare elements such as uranium or plutonium. Theoretically, 1 liter of water could provide enough raw material for fusion to produce as much energy as the combustion of 300 liters of oil. Nuclear fusion devices such as K-STAR, known as tokamaks, replicate plasma, a state of matter created under the massive gravitational pressure and intense heat of stars like the sun. Well, is this where we're headed? Is this I've read stuff too in the past about China having an already working artificial sun. So I think this is the bizarre stuff. So is this like an actual breakthrough, or is there's like an underground, basement sort of secret laboratory where they've done these things already? I don't know. Again, you can't really trust anything coming out of the media, and even in academic circles, I'm sure a lot of the stuff gets hidden or covered up or whatever because they're probably doing stuff they shouldn't do. I don't know. Like you tell me, as always, right? Money rules the day, and corruption is corruption. And yeah, well, do you really think if they were able to pop this, that the big oil cartels would allow this anyway? I don't know. Back to that whole climate. Who's the criminals here, right? The big oil, or the big oil conspiracy, or the climate cabal, right? Well, wouldn't this solve all the problems? For some people, but not for others, and that's the thing, isn't it? That is the thing. So, yep, love to hear your thoughts. We're just kind of talking about the news, and it's Black Friday, and, well, it's Black Oil Friday, Black Lava Friday, because why the hell not? 702-957-1037, troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link. Let's keep on trucking, shall we? Back to New Scientist, and this is we'll talk about runaway vacuum decay. We've talked about this quite a bit here and there on Troubled Minds Radio, and how the Large Hadron Collider could open up a black hole that devours the Earth. Well, check this out. Merging black holes may create bubbles that could swallow the universe. All right, well, here we go. More theoretical awesomeness. The area between a pair of large black holes is on the verge of colliding. Could provide the conditions to create dangerous bubbles of true vacuum. Uh-oh. Well, I guess hold on to your butts. Large colliding black holes could be a breeding ground for tiny black holes. If we spot signs of these cosmic lightweights, it could provide proof of the fundamental nature of our universe. There have been hints in particle physics that our universe may not be in the lowest possible energy state. Instead of a true vacuum, it may be in a state called a false or metastable vacuum. There you go. If any part of the universe were to collapse into a true vacuum, you know what happens. It would be the end. It would be the end of all things. So, I don't know. This is pretty cool. Unfortunately, I do like New Scientist quite a bit, but they have some pretty good stuff, but they're always paywalled. I can't even dodge the paywall. So at some point, I may just have to pay these bastards for doing good work. How dare they do good work that I can't access? Let's see. How much is it? How much is New Scientist? I'll figure that out later. Anyway, all right. So pretty good stuff here. The true vacuum state of the universe, if it collapses into it, very much like the runaway vacuum decay of like the Cern opening up a black hole here on Earth. Well, this is the cosmic version of such a thing. And luckily, well, we have the universe being as old as it is, which assumes this hasn't happened yet. And it probably is not gonna. Maybe. I don't know. We'll drink some maybe juice on that one and say maybe either way. But yeah, we're just doing our thing, hanging out, and kicking it, talking about the news and everything else. What do you guys think about this? And love to hear your thoughts. 702-957-1037. I see everybody out there. What's going on? What's up? Indigo Child says, Michael, there isn't intelligent life here. Okay. All right. I guess, as always, it depends on who you ask, right? It depends on who you ask. Here you go. All right. Here's one that's dark. You want to go dark? Let's go dark. This is pretty wild here. That's from the New York Post. Woman with a spina bifida sues mom's doctor for millions. Says she never should have been born. There you go. There's some darkness for you. An English woman with spina bifida is suing her mother's former doctor for millions of dollars in healthcare costs and damages, claiming that she should have never been born. Evie Toombs, a 20-year-old equestrian show jumper from Lincolnshire, is using her mother's general practitioner, Dr. Philip Mitchell, for wrongful conception. Oh, sorry, suing, not using, suing. For wrongful conception after he allegedly failed to advise her mother to take folic acid supplements before getting pregnant that she claims resulted in her birth defect, according to the Telegraph. Toombs was diagnosed with, this is a really long word I can't say, after her birth in November 2001, a neural tube defect to her spine. Her bones never properly developed along her spinal cord, causing permanent disability. She claims that her mother never would have had her if the doctor had informed her that she needed to take folic acid supplements to minimize the chances of the defect affecting her baby. Her attorney, Susan Rodway, told the UK High Court judge that Toombs was suing for, quote, having been born in a damaged state and wants to recover millions of dollars needed to cover the costs of living with her condition. Mitchell has denied any liability and has countered that he gave Caroline Toombs reasonable advice, although it is common practice to advise potential mothers to take the supplement before conceiving and through the first 12 weeks of pregnancy, the Telegraph reported. His attorney argued that it is his practice to advise prospective parents that 400 milligrams of folic acid, however, that if the mother had a good diet, the folic acid levels anyway are typically at a healthy level and supplements will be less important. Yeah, interesting. Says she should have never been born. Pretty dark stuff. This is, I don't know. It kind of opens up an interesting question too. How much liability is there on doctors that are delivering babies? Because, things like this happen not just in, the womb and the 9-month gestation period, of course, but in actual delivery, like delivery situations with babies having permanent damage from, or even dying from, who knows, malpractice maybe. I know that's a legal word, and there's a lot into that, but it is one of those curious things where, well, if this is allowed, it kind of opens up a can of worms for pretty much anybody to sue their doctor, right, for all kinds of things. So, as we know, my prediction here is that they're going to protect the money, and the money is the doctors, and they're going to smack this down and say, sorry, deal with it, and there you go. Which is unfortunate, but, you can't time travel, can you? You just can't. You can't. That's one of the weird things about life is the time runs one direction. One direction. You can't have it back. At some point, you just can't have it back. But yeah, this is a little bit dark. Just that should have never been born. That caught my attention like, that seems dark. Dark. All right, let's go to arstechnica.com. By the way, if you want to be part of the show, as part of the transparency process, and to make it hater-proof, because the haters don't call in because they're scared, 702-957-1037, troubledminds.org, and there you go. Open lines, always doing it with transparency of sources, and if I screw up, I'll do my best to admit it, and not only that, an open line. So if you like what I'm doing or you don't, you can punch the digits and say, damn it, Michael Strange, I don't like what you're doing over there. And I'll say, cool, why? and we'll talk about it. But anyway, Ars Technica. Let's go to this. Scientists use seismic noise to image first 100 meters of Mars. We're starting to get in underneath Mars itself, and that's there we go. That's the way it is. Mars wind creates enough noise to see what's underneath the InSight lander. All right, well, as we see some of the images of Mars, they look like the desert of Nevada. But anyway, NASA's InSight lander installed a seismograph on Mars, and the Mars quakes it detected have helped us map the planet's interior. This data provides the big picture of Mars's internals, how big the core is, whether anything is molten, and so on. But it doesn't capture the small details, like what the ground immediately below InSight looks like. This week, researchers described how they've managed to find quiet periods on Mars that lets them image closer to the surface. The results, combined with some nearby surface features, reveal that InSight is likely above two large lava flows separated by layers of sediment. Yeah, very good stuff. Now we're talking. Okay, let's see. Closest to the surface, the regolith of Mars is formed by dust and rock fragments produced by impacts. It appears to only be 1.5 meters thick, although the researchers cautioned that the data on the uppermost 20 meters of the material is very uncertain. But 3 meters below the surface, there appears to be a layer of volcanic rock formed by major eruptions in Mars' distant past. Below that, from roughly 30 meters to 80 meters, but these figures are pretty inexact, clearly. 30 to 80 is a pretty big span there, is another layer of material where seismic signals move slowly. The researchers conclude this is likely to be a layer of sedimentary rock. Below that are further volcanic deposits. The researchers conclude that the deepest volcanic deposits date back to the Hesperian, a period of widespread volcanic activity that ended over 3 billion with a B years ago. The overlying sediment deposit formed while Mars experienced cold, dry conditions similar to its present state. After it consolidated and sometime during Mars's Amazonian period, additional eruptions covered these sediments. Since then, impacts and Mars winds have deposited a layer of loose material on top of the volcanic layers. And there we go. So they're doing science on Mars. And there we go. What's up, Indigo Child says, we should all sue our parents for being born. That also was a little dark, my friend. But yeah, okay. I know you're probably, hopefully, half in jest, joking, tongue-in-cheek, making it funny. I think maybe. Anyway, all right. So science on Mars. We're going to find out what's going on underneath and down below. And I don't know. What do you think? Do you think we're going to find some critters, little Mao Dibs or whatever, running around underneath the Mars regolith? That would be pretty cool, right? The little micey things from Dune. That'd be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. So I don't know. What is this? Is this exciting? Is this meh? Is this whatever? I don't know. I'm looking forward to them finding life on Mars. Just waiting for like a little critter to run by one of these dash cams they got on the thing here. Because why not? That'd be sweet. They're like, oh, what was that? We can't talk about that. We can't do that. Now, what do you think would happen, by the way? Just as a quick thought experiment, do you think if like they were just chilling on Mars like this, having the camera up and some little critter ran by, and they caught it like very clearly on video, you think that it would be covered up, or do you think they would be like international news like instantly? You know what I mean? I wonder. I kind of wonder. Like, we're so weird about that stuff with, alien life and the whole bit, right? It's still like we have this mental block about humanity being the only game in the universe, which makes no damn sense. But whatever. Who am I to say? I'm just an asshole on the internet with a microphone. And here we go. Let's keep on trucking. There's more. There's always more. 702-957-1037, troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link. Let's do this. This is thehill.com. Yep. Just when you thought it was over, I think again. 5 things to know about Omicron, the new COVID-19 variant of concern. Omicron. Weird. The announcement of a COVID-19 variant called B.1.1529 this week by scientists in South Africa Where it was first detected has sent government officials and financial markets around the world reeling. Oh, I see. The World Health Organization held an emergency meeting on Friday where it designated the new strain, which it called Omicron, a variant of concern, or VOC, a label applied when a particular strain is especially virulent, transmissible, or able to defeat public health measures. The Dow Jones Industrial Average suffered its worst single-day drop of the year, plummeting more than 900 points, and multiple nations, including the U.S., quickly imposed travel restrictions as the Omicron variant was also detected in Israel, Hong Kong, Botswana, and Belgium. Infectious disease expert Anthony Fauci said Friday the U.S. is rushing to obtain information on the Omicron variant, but emphasized there is not enough data for immediate action. Oh, well, that's good, because you'll just change your mind the next day anyway. Flip-floppity, Fauci. There you go. Here's what to know about Omicron. Yep. So U.S. senior administration officials, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. This variant has a large number of mutations, some of which are concerning. The WHO, which of course is the World Health Organization, said in a statement Friday, preliminary evidence suggests an increased risk of reinfection with this variant as compared to other VOCs. Tulio de Oliveira, a bioinformatics professor, at 2 universities in South Africa, said during the press conference there Thursday, the new variant is clearly different than past ones such as Delta. De Oliveira said at least 50 Omicron mutations have been identified, with more than 30 in the spike protein, the region that interacts with human cells prior to cell entry. Fauci said in an interview with CNN on Friday that the variant is spreading at a reasonably rapid rate. Flip-floppity Fauci, my favorite guy. 100 new cases so far have been linked to Omicron, said Anne Van Gotberg, a clinical microbiologist and head of respiratory diseases at the National Institute of Communicable Diseases. Well, we'll just trust the science on this like we have been, and there we go. So, I don't know. This is pretty well, like I said, this is never going to end. It was my prediction all the way back in January of 2020 when nobody was talking about this except for us. And I said, look, if this thing goes nuts and it's literally like a influenza type thing, well, we haven't cured the common flu. Right? We get a flu shot that's 6 months behind every year. So if that science can't stop the common flu, then what about this? What about this? I said it then, and look what's happening. Omicron. What happens when they run out of letters of the alphabet? What's the next thing? Are they going to like Delta 2, Delta 3, Delta 5, Delta 7? It's going to sound like a Star Trek episode. And be like, all right, well, we got a variant, a Delta 9er. And, well, as a result, yep, let's go to CNN. Biden, good old Biden. I guess they woke Biden up to tell him that something's happening here, and something happened. So Biden restricts travel from South Africa and 7 other countries starting Monday. Well, this is where everybody needs to freak out and call him a racist because, well, they gave that to the last president. So fair is fair, right? President Joe Biden announced Friday the U.S. will restrict travel from South Africa and 7 other countries starting Monday as a new coronavirus variant has emerged. Acting on advice from the nation's top infectious diseases expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, and the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the Biden administration will restrict travel from South Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Lesotho, Eswatini, Mozambique, and Malawi. The decision to restrict travel comes as the federal government is still attempting to learn more about the new variant named Omicron. Boom, boom, boom. They need to see more sequencing, but after discussing what they've seen so far, officials decided to halt travel from these other countries out of concern about what they don't know yet. Biden was briefed Friday on the coronavirus variant circulating in southern Africa, he said in the announcement. He told reporters later Friday of the decision, quote, "I've decided we're going to be cautious." Oh, you mean racist. I've decided I'm going to be racist because what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I'm sorry. Well, that's just the way it is. And this is why this stuff pisses me off. Not so clearly. Let me just clarify. Racism is bad. I think it's literally one of the most horrific things people have ever done to each other. Right. And the thing is this. once you say that and clarify that, all of this stuff where you cast aspersions on people as being racist with limited data sets or even reaching, what you're doing is you're really causing problems for the real racism, right? For the arguments of how things can be changed or fixed. When you're doing things like CNN does, right, with all of the rest of this stuff, because you don't think like them politically, you must be a racist. You're literally not helping the cause against racism at all. You're more of a problem because people get sick of hearing it. People get sick of being accused of things like this when they're not, right? And so that's why this pisses me off quite a lot. Some of the stuff that they do with this. CNN, one of the worst. MSNBC, God, those guys are just. And I'm not defending Fox News; they're assholes too, by the way. But anyway, yeah, what's up? James says they try to cover it up, possibly classified as a demon, right? You mean Omicron? The demon Omicron coming to a variant near you. Dun dun dun. Yeah, whatever. All right, let's keep on trucking here. Let's if you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. All right, let's go here. Scientists produce, this is from phys.org, scientists produce new antibiotics by gene editing. All right. Now we're in business, right? Now we're talking. Now we're cooking with gas. Let's file this under how could this go wrong? Scientists have discovered a new route to producing complex antibiotics exploiting gene editing to reprogram pathways to future medicines urgently required to combat antimicrobial resistance, treat neglected diseases, and tackle future pandemics. Nice. Researchers from the University of Manchester have discovered a new way of manipulating key assembly line enzymes and bacteria, which could pave the way for a new generation of antibiotic treatments. New research published today in Nature Communications describes how CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing can be used to create non-ribosomal peptide synthase enzymes, the NRPS. I'll only say that one time because I barely made it through that time. That deliver clinically important antibiotics. NRPS enzymes are prolific producers of natural antibiotics such as penicillin. However, up until now, manipulating these complex enzymes to produce new and more effective antibiotics has been a major challenge. The UK government suggested AMR, antimicrobial resistance infections, are estimated to cause 700,000 deaths each year globally and are predicted to rise to 10 million, costing the global economy $100 trillion by 2050. AMR also threatens many of the UN's Sustainable Development Goals, with an extra 28 million people that could be forced into extreme poverty by 2050 unless AMR is contained. You will own nothing and you will be happy. And anyway, interesting that this is happening. It's happening. This is happening, guys. What can you do about it other than, well, I don't know. Hopefully they don't open up a vacuum decay and devour the entire Earth. Oh, wait, that's CERN. I'm sorry. Two different things. All right, let's go to this. This is, as usual, right, the outrage culture. The world is so outraged and so mad. This is from the Daily Mail. It's called Living in a Big City. Seth Rogen faces backlash for privileged response to crime in Los Angeles after YouTuber said his cars were broken into and belongings, including decorations for his daughter's birthday party, were stolen. All right, so we got two celebrities with this Twitter beef going on. Casey Neistat, right, a popular YouTuber. You guys know who this guy is. You should anyway. He's one of the he's been doing YouTube videos for quite some time. Millions of subscribers, the whole deal, right? Casey Neistat says on Twitter, so our cars got robbed this morning because Los Angeles is a crime-riddled third world S-hole of a city, but tremendous appreciation and gratitude to the hardworking officers at LAPD who not only arrested the MFers, but they got all of our stolen goods back. Right? Sweet. Justice is served, right? But, well, Seth Rogen has to say, dude, I've lived here for over 20 years. You're nuts. Ha ha. It's lovely here. Don't leave anything valuable in it. It's called living in a big city. Oh, well, here we go. These two extremely good-looking young men are, Seth Rogen, Casey Neistat in the Twitter beef. And so they're back and forth on Twitter. And like I said, this is news. This is news, guys. This is news when two people get into a spat on Twitter and they're like, the claws come out, the hisses and the things. And okay, well. Sorry. Apparently, living in a city is having your shit getting broken into, and it's just something we should accept, I guess. But then there's this privilege and the backlash and all the things, and everybody's mad. Everybody's so mad, calling it a shithole or calling it that or this or the other thing. And then it's got privilege. You're so rich. Oh, you're so rich. We hate you so much. Boo, hiss, the outrage. This is news today. I should have done the Kardashians instead of that. Anyway, that's what's going on in the news cycles, and you already know. But, most of the stuff we do isn't that. I just wanted to point out, well, that's what news is made of today. Two rich assholes with Twitter accounts are like, oh, by the way, we disagree with each other, so let's just be stupid on Twitter. And, well, welcome to life. And there we go. So happy Friday to everybody. Like I said, it is Black Friday. We're going to call it Black Lava Friday, because why the hell not? And we're also going to be taking the weekend off like we typically do. So the thing is this. We do Troubled Minds Radio Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And then we do this show Monday and Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific time exclusively on Twitch. And then after that, it gets cut to the podcast feed down the road. So that's the deal. That's the schedule. That's all the things. I hope you guys had a fantastic Thanksgiving, those who celebrate it. If you didn't, I hope you had a fantastic day anyway. See how I did that? It doesn't matter. Doesn't even matter what you celebrate. Have a good day anyway. And not only that, we have a show coming up this weekend with our good friend Algorithm on YouTube. So Mike in Colorado, I'm going to be on that show tomorrow, as a matter of fact. I'll put it in the Discord announcements, so the events, so you guys can know exactly when it's going to happen. I think we're going to do it at 6 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow. We haven't ironed that out exactly, but I think that's what's probably going to happen. So I'll get back to him tonight, and I will put that the event in Discord. If you have not joined the Discord, slap it in there. Join the Discord, troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link, and that's where you'll get your notifications for this show, because all the rest of these platforms, the tech platforms, they pull the dirty shenanigans, right? With the shadow bans and stuff, meaning that even though you followed the channel, like on Facebook, those assholes, they don't notify people when you go live. So the people that have followed you and want to see the content can't, because they don't get notified you're live, right? So literally it's one of the most basic things of running a channel or anything. You expect that people that want to see your notifications get them, and these assholes are trimming them out so you can't, so people don't get those notifications. But the Discord one has its own events thing, so I can put the stuff in there and it will notify you when we go live. So if you haven't joined the Discord, if not, at the very least, get in there, even if you're not going to participate, because you will get the notifications. I always put a blurb, even if it's not on the events channel. It will go straight to the general chat with a @everybody, so you get notified when we do it. But yeah, good stuff. So we'll be back tomorrow. So I said we're going to take the weekend off. I fibbed, because we'll be back tomorrow with Mike in Colorado. His YouTube channel is Algorithm, and I'll have all that information linked, not just in the Discord. We'll get that time ironed out tonight, looking like probably 6 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow. And then what we'll also do is, I don't know what else. We'll be talking about all kinds of whack shit tomorrow. So if you're looking forward to that, I am. It'll be not quite Troubled Minds. It'll be the Algorithm show, and we'll just be talking about whatever Mike wants to talk about. So there you go. As we finish, yes, let's do this. Let's smash the button. Do all the things. If you like the show, please spread the word. If you want to support the show and you really like the work that I'm doing, I would appreciate that. Twitch right here. Just subscribe. Rockfin is another way. Again, all the stuff that you can find on troubledminds.org. All the links are there. Also, there's Patreon. There's all the stuff. And again, if you like the show but not enough to spend money on it, here's the thing. You can also just help by watching listening to the podcast feed. Anything, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, whatever, right? If you listen to the podcast feed, there are ads baked in. Pennies become dimes, dimes become dollars, and all of that helps. So if you want to help, just put on one of the old shows you haven't heard from Troubled Minds, and while you're cooking or gardening or something, and it helps the overall cause. So appreciate that very much. And let's get out of here. Have a happy Friday. And let's do it. Let's play this. And let's go. Let's go. All right. So as we finish, we're done for the week, except for the bonus show coming on Saturday on the Algorithm channel. I will probably... I'll figure that out. Anyway, so if you want, looking forward to that, as am I. Do check it out. Join the Discord. Check on Twitter. I will post there as well, and we'll be live tomorrow night about 6 p.m. with Mike in Colorado. Algorithm. All right. So as it ends, thank you all for listening. Thanks for spending your time with us. The most important thing is your time and your energy, and caring. That's the most important thing. Caring about what's going on in the world around us. And there you go. If you want to help the show, you know what to do. Spread the word, all that good stuff. Super special thank you to the folks that have already subbed up to this channel here on Twitch, on Patreon, on Rockfin, to the folks that are doing those things, helping by listening to the podcast feed and all the stuff I just aforementioned there. So appreciate it so much. Thank you again. Happy Black Lava Friday. Have a good one. Don't spend too much money. It's unhealthy. Makes you locked into the cycles they want us locked into. Don't feel the need to go buy things you don't need. All right, let's get the hell out of here. This is Troubled Minds News. I'm your host, Michael Strange. Have a fantastic one. We'll see you tomorrow evening, 6 p.m. Pacific approximately. I'll nail that down and let you know. Have a great one, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I'm out of here. Peace.